Alright, it's loading, it's loading. Hopefully it's good. I'm waiting for the image to pop up on the screen because that's usually whenever it starts actually recording for our audience. And there's the link. And yeah, we're live. Alright.
All right. Hello, hello, welcome. Welcome to the anime podcast for Outpost 1018. This is the podcast for November. I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. And guess what? We are actually, for the first time in. Have we ever been on time? Ever?
Whenever we first originally started, yes. Like maybe like, I don't know, 2 years ago.
Yeah, and we are actually on time. So, how is everyone doing? We have a small cast tonight. I am Neo Tokyo Tempo.
I am Getsuryu or Josh.
僕はスートライカーレッドです。
Um, that
Step
is
right.
Striker Red, yes. So, this month we decided to watch KonoSuba. We haven't really, we couldn't really, I don't know. I think Striker picked it. But
Yeah, it was me.
it was a good choice, considering a movie for it just came out, and I think it's getting a third season, and I'm just gonna say it right off the bat, I quite liked it. Now, Konosuba is an isekai, and I know it's just kind of hurts to say I quite like it and isekai in the same paragraph, but this is more of an isekai parody. I'm sure most anime fans out there today are familiar with Konosuba, but in case you're not, um, it follows a guy named Kazuma, who he is a NEET and he gets killed, and he gets transported to another world after he dies. But then everything goes wrong, and it turns into a massive isekai parody. He is given a one gift to take with him, and it could be whatever he chooses. And apparently, they didn't set any rules because he decides to bring the goddess Aqua with him as sort of revenge for Aqua making fun of him for being a NEET.
And the way he died, though.
And the way he died, which the way Aqua tells it is dubious, probably. I mean, she gives like a wink and a chuckle like afterwards, but and she says stuff to make Kazuma angry all the time. So, but anyway, they have to defeat the Demon King, but that's not really that important because they rack up insane amounts of debt. They get in trouble with the law. Kazuma dies several times, and they spend the entire series mired in their own incompetence, and it is glorious. It is hilarious, and yeah. So I guess we'll start with the animation. What did you guys think of the animation?
I thought so. It, it seems like they had to play off of all the basic isekais, so it kind of had the same feel and look as like Sword Art, kind of like a little bit of Shield Hero. Like all the basic isekais kind of look all the same as what you're meant to realize, and all the characters like the hot chick kind of looks like all the other hot chicks. Like the useless character looks like all the other useless characters. All the mages kind of look the same. And it was kind of interesting to see that. So judging just on that type of animation, and how good they did it, especially with some of the other like jarring moments where like all the screams and stuff. Uh, those were up to standard with the entire industry, and then if you just watch all the other explosions, because I love the explosion magic scenes, those were just over the top, and like I feel like whoever got to animate all the explosions had way too much fun with it. So,
Yeah.
like,
Uh,
I would
I hate
give
to
like
interrupt you.
I would give the just really quick. I'd give the
Mhm.
animations across the entire anime like a 7, 8-ish. But I'd give like the explosions just a 10. It's just enjoyable to watch all. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So you guys know who animated this series, right? Studio Dean.
Yeah.
They also did Yurusei Yatsura and all these other classes. They also did Rama and a Half. I'm gonna be honest here. I had never seen an anime with so many memeable faces. It's not even funny.
The character designs, I'd say like the main characters, if you just put them in silhouettes, and I think several times they are in silhouettes. They might be in silhouettes in the openings, but if you just put them in silhouettes, you would still be able to recognize them pretty easily. Um, I kind of like Megumi. Her outfit is like really over the top. Like she's got like this she's got like this
She's a
clothing,
Junie.
like she's got like
She's
this clothing that's just like something you'd wear if you were the most powerful mage in the world or something. Um uh Darkness has this armor that really accentuates uh her sturdy build. Um Aqua has this sort of she has this sort of
let's just say
almost Roman priestess kind of look to her. Uh
with but there is one clear exception, and here's a bit of trivia. Aqua is in fact using panties. The thing is they're invisible. At least that's actually an accurate depiction of her
yeah.
of her. Yeah, so it looks like she's bare ass naked, but that she's going full commando. But it really her panties are so invisible. It looks like she's not wearing anything at all.
Yeah.
Regarding the explosions, absolute beauty. Like not just the animation, the artwork in this series.
Yeah,
Especially the areas.
yeah. The artwork on the explosions, on a lot of the monsters and the main characters, is very, very good. Um, the the designs of a lot of the ensemble, like the unnamed characters
Yeah, the
are
background characters.
the background characters. They look much more generic, but that's to be expected.
They're also
You
quite tasteful.
definitely don't want the background characters popping out and distracting the audience from the main characters. So, I think it's perfectly acceptable. Background art, I'd say it's bright and colorful, and it looks great. And then what was I gonna say? Oh, the only major issue I have is and really this doesn't happen often, but sometimes there will be like a 3D CGI shot, and it'll just look kind of stupid. But really, compared to most modern anime, the CGI is quite rare, and they in fact, I think most episodes don't have any in it, as far as I can tell.
There's very little CGI for the most part, and this is considering the show came out in 2016. At that, the quality kind of aged. The animation quality actually aged very well, despite these 4 years.
Yeah, I'd say it's about as well animated as really anything that'll come out today.
Yeah.
I would still consider it modern. But yeah, it's about what you would expect from an anime today.
I will say one of the weird things is whenever a character would change outfit sometimes, uh, and maybe like this is just like a few of the characters, it was hard to recognize them for like a second. So like Megumi, whenever she changed out of her like mage outfit, and like she didn't have the hat on, it like didn't register for a second that was her.
Yeah.
Like because like without the eye patch, without like her entire getup, she just looks like a normal girl. And then there was a few parts with Darkness, whenever she was like not even whenever she was dressed like crazy for her family, but just whenever she was just walking around the town normally, without her armor, that she kind of looked not like herself. So
Yeah.
there was a few of
The
those
yellows,
issues.
the color palettes of the characters are really important for recognizing them, and whenever
Even the
Darkness
skin
wasn't
tone.
wearing white and yellow, it takes you a second to recognize her. And this at one point was played up for laughs when Darkness like showed up during season 2 in some strange getup. They none of the other characters knew it was her at first. It legit took them a minute.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the supposed classy outfit that she wore when she went to the Lord's house.
Yeah, but yeah,
Uh,
I think that's about it with the animation.
Yep.
there is something I want to add, if you
Oh,
may, if I
go
may.
ahead. Go ahead.
I want to mention two things. One, regarding the second intro, how well made the dance is. Like it's absolutely it's synced up like crazy. And the second one is the absolute jiggle physics that this show has.
Oh yeah, we were making jokes before we got on air, but yeah, we haven't mentioned the titties yet.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, especially when Chabusuke Megumi's cat starts playing with whistles. It's more than evident that they have given quite a shit when it comes to titty physics.
It really was it really was quite. It's I like it.
I'll be honest with you, that is the luckiest cat in that show. But
All I'm gonna say is someone from Team Ninja probably moved over to this project.
It look, all right. The show has a lot of plot. A lot of it.
wow,
A lot of plot on almost every female character. Almost every one of them.
Yeah.
dude,
Except
even the
remember Eris's
Eris,
Eris
this guy's
pads
oh
her
Chris.
Eris pads her chest.
She
Oh wait,
does. She does.
now that I think about it, she did get some fan service a bit when she was Chris on Earth. Yes, you guys heard me right. Ares is Chris in the on Earth. That is actually her disguise. The thing is, she has pretty good makeup when it comes to hiding that scar on her face.
Well, she even said that
But
she likes to go visit the like Japan sometimes. So that's like your guilty
yeah,
pleasure.
yeah, you know what's funny? There is a chapter in the light novel where they actually go to the real world, and then they start. I haven't read it, but I have read
Oh,
a little bit of it. They actually visit. They actually visit Japan.
oh, so I didn't catch that. Eris was Chris.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people didn't actually. I told a friend of mine that, and he was shitting bricks when he found out. He,
Yeah.
he was he was like, seriously?
No, it really is true. She pads her chest because she's pretty flat when she's Chris.
Yeah, why is justice, dude?
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, that's that's her.
Oh god! And regarding the animation, it goes even further, especially that episode where Kazuma starts stealing her panties, though. But that's for another thing. All right, so what are we doing? Sound sound
Yeah,
effects? Yeah,
yeah.
still sound effects.
Yeah, yes. The sound design. I'm gonna say right now, music is much better in this anime than it is in almost any anime that I've seen in like the past 10 years. Like I can distinctly remember that like main heroic theme, that bum ba 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 bum bum ba bum bum. It's really catchy. It's really enjoyable to listen to. It has a good energy to it. It makes them doing mundane tasks like manual labor uh like feel epic and heroic even though it's not.
Yeah,
Oh man,
I'm like
and there's
there was a lot of really good like the music was good. The opening themes were actually catchy. I wouldn't say I like them and would listen to them outside of this, but like they were actually like really catchy like jingles rather than something that I was just like, yeah, I can just skip over it. It was like, okay, yeah, I'll listen.
Yeah.
It
What
fits.
one of the biggest things that we keep running into in when we talk about the music in a show is that we can't remember any of the music.
Yeah.
I do.
We keep running into that over and over again, especially in modern animes. And in this show, um, I can distinctly remember several of the tracks, and
Well,
I I don't remember them for bad reasons. I remember them because they're they're good. Not only do they fit with what's happening, but they're good.
So how it sounds to me, like uh, I don't know how much MMOs you guys played or anything like that.
mm,
They remind me of like the catchiness of a lot of those hometowns. Like, so if you've played Gaia online, or not Gaia, why did I say Gaia? Terra online, like you will, and you play it like constantly, you know the like theme as you enter each city. Whenever you like if you played WoW a lot, like they had a lot of those same things where you enter a town. Even like Pokemon, like you knew that like every town had kind of different themes, like some of them did, and
mhm.
that's kind of how this reminded me, is like you go to do an area and then like that soundtrack comes up. And I think it kind of wanted to stay true to that kind of mentality. So I do give it a lot of credit for having that catchiness. I wouldn't say that it was like beyond amazing for the music, but it was always like you knew it was going on just because of what the music was happening behind it, which is
Yeah.
rare for an anime to do at this point.
I'm gonna be frank with you. I think two of the most famous themes I heard from KonoSuba are either Darkness's theme whenever she gets turned on. That special,
Yeah.
and that 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 one theme that has, how should I say this? It's certain doom for everyone. The opera choruses, oh dear lord, they are spot fucking on.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
will say like the one that like I remember the most was Megumi's like explosion spell one.
That's
Whenever
the one.
yeah, like whenever she'd go into that and then like you'd hear that music behind it, you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
Everything's about to get fucked up.
that's funny you mention it. Yeah, back to what I was mentioning, like you mentioned that piece, and now I can hear it in my head.
Yeah.
Like all of it's all of it's very memorable, and the music plays. The music itself plays for laughs quite a bit, because sometimes you'll have Megamine going into like some epic speech about how awesome of a and powerful of a maid she is, and then next thing Kazuma will like grab her eye patch and like pull it back and like let it snap back onto her face, and the music like stops instantly for like a joke like that.
Yeah.
And it's quite and so the music actually becomes part of the joke a lot of the times.
Yeah. Like it just on an audio level it's really well done. And I mean
I do what?
just
Sorry,
another thing,
sorry,
just
Tiff.
like while we're on the explosion thing,
Mhm.
and that's gonna be a very main theme of mine. I fucking love the explosions in this anime. Um, just like hearing all the different types of explosions that they had for whenever they were cracking down on the castle, like every day. Like each one was different. Like I don't know how many different explosion like audio tracks they had to have put in this anime for all of these different sounds. But
Yeah,
it's
and
just
the explosion animation was different each time too.
yeah. So it was interesting that like like in that scene it was like sometimes it would be like a really big one, and then I'd see other days where it wasn't as good, and and then he's like, and other days like it would look more impressive but not be as effective, and then you saw like the different type of explosions, so it was kind of interesting also that like one spell varied so much day to day.
Yeah,
I want to say regarding the two intros, Machiko, the singer, really knocked it out of the park. I personally have in fact listened to both of them outside. Hell, the first one, fantastic. Contrary to what that's because they're English, and all that. It's actually called Fantastic Dreamer, but it sounds like realistic dreamer. It's or realistic dreamer, depending on how you listen to it. But the fact it plays on the final episode of season 1, when West and Megumi are doing the explosive spells, that really hit. That really hit something else. Tomorrow, however, to me it's actually the better intro, especially when you listen to it on your phone. Speed it up to 115 on any how should I say this, on any sound application. It sounds like a punk rock album. It's I don't know how to describe it. You know what's interesting? The ending was actually sent by the three voice actresses in the show. Um, Ai Kayano, Rie Takahashi, and Sora Amamiya. And they were all speaking, from what I've seen in the subtitles, they were all singing with a Kansai dialect. The ending was basically about how someone how they got a boat and they were drunk as fuck. And there's even a Jun Fukushima version, the guy who plays Kazuma. Now that being said, this is one of the very few animes where the dub is actually good as the Japanese version. I was watching one of the OVAs in English, and the voice actors are actually they had a lot of fun with this, especially Christina Valenzuela or Christina B when she plays Darkness. Honestly, it's the explosives part. I have a feeling they either looked around several nuclear explosives because the Megabean's attacks are near Tsar Bomba levels of powerful. They're heroic. They're like
Well, like they kind of look like that, but they're not usually standing that far away from them. So
I would say the closest would be blowing up like 20 C4 bombs or
it kind of
or
looks like someone set off a Moab.
yeah. Yeah, it kind of sounds like it was. It kind of sounds like like 3 factory explosions in one.
But anyway, so that's all we have on the sound design, right? We can head over to the more exciting part, which is the characters, because I think the characters are really what sells this show. They all bounce off of each other and quite well. They all have very good chemistry, and they're all charismatic and fun to watch in their own ways. So let's start with the main character, the Kazuma. What do you guys think of Kazuma?
So
I'll let you guys do ahead, and then I'll be the last one.
So I thought that he was a good play on what a lot of isekais are, which is uh almost every isekai is a shut-in NEET, which is what he is. Uh, Usually a failure at school. The fact that he like just stopped going to school says that, and just like a huge gamer. And I like that he was given the personality that he was, because he basically has the same personality as what a shit poster would be.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, he does.
Actually having the I believe in actual gender equality, not this bullshit gender equality shit. I came to a fantasy world. I expected to become a hero like instantly. Like this should just be like an MMO. This should take like a few months. Why am I still like struggling? Why am I living inside a barn? This is bullshit. I thought I was gonna be given like cool skills. The only thing I have is like steel at this point. Like
Yeah, and like and like he's he'll take like almost any opportunity to just be a dick. Like he like the first thing he does when he learns steel is steal
Chris's panties.
Chris's panties.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was also based on luck, and it's just, oh, like, guess what? That's the luckiest thing you
Yeah,
can grab.
he has a high luck trait, and I guess well, he really wanted those panties.
Yep.
He also did the same with Megumi still. Like, bruh.
Yeah, yeah, he did the same with Megumi. There's there's a scene in the movie where he's like laying in the same bed as Megumi, and instead of simply doing the whole oh no, please look, I'm not a pervert routine. He just starts doubling and tripling down on like the I'm totally a pervert thing. Just to freak Megumi out. He does the same thing to like a couple party members of another party. Um, he starts doing like the really creepy hand motion and basically saying I want gender equality. And I will drop kick a woman
Yeah.
for it. And saying like I'm gonna steal your panties. They call me the panty thief and stuff like that. Like he will do stuff like that. Or there's a scene where he basically just to get Aqua to like break the act she's playing up. He basically says things like, "Oh, I drank all of your in expensive liquor and poured cheap liquor back into the bottles and stuff like that." He gets one of those tables with the blankets around it, and he just refuses to leave it. It's like, no, I'm
the
staying here.
Kotatsu part. That is one of my favorite parts.
Then they yeet him out out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. They like he starts like using magic on them to keep them from pulling him out from under the table. So they actually have to physically take the table and the mat, pick it up, and throw it out the window.
Yeah, well, I was gonna do a meme where but I should have watched the dub version, but with the words "yeet" written all on the bottom.
Yeah.
I can't meme right.
But yeah, so I think that pretty much describes him. I think the only other thing is like, the biggest flaw is you don't really know his motives. Like,
Well,
it's kind of weird because it's like he wants to have a good life, but then at the same time he's conflicted and also wants to be an adventurer. And then like he doesn't care about like a lot of the people in his party, but then it's like he actually does care. So he's kind of like you see the conflict, but it doesn't feel like he has like a full motive. Like it's like, does he actually want to go defeat the Demon King, or is he like happy with his life right now?
it seems like it's Aqua that's the one that wants to defeat the Demon King.
Well, she wants to go back and
Yeah,
but like he has no reason to actually care. So
yeah, like it seems like well, it's like if let's say he defeats the Demon King and gets sent back to the real world, I don't think he wants that. I don't think he I think he would probably start getting bored if his life was too comfortable. I mean, what's he going to do? He doesn't have video games or anything, so he'd probably start going on adventures again anyway, just out of boredom, I think.
yeah, maybe. I'm not too sure, but yeah. So
okay, let me. Sorry, but I have to put my 2 cents on this absolute Chad of a main character. Really, honestly, the man is an asshole. Yes, the man does give a shit about his friends. Yes, he really does. The thing with Kazuma is that he has his own motives, but at the same time, he's also. I'll be honest with you. The friendship the man has is as realistic as they can be. In the sense that he knows what he wants, he knows what he likes, he knows what he doesn't like, and he makes him a more relatable character in general.
Yeah.
And to sum things up, the dude assumes big dick energy in some of the scenes, especially when he comes up against the Dollahan, motherfucking the Dollahan guy.
Yeah. It was kind of funny because him and Megumi had been like blowing up this abandoned castle for months, like every day, and then Dunahan, I think his name was
Birdia, that's his name, Birdia.
Oh, was I thinking of which one was
No.
Dunahan?
Oh, the Dollahan is Birdia. You're thinking of Vanir, who was the guy with the mask.
No, I'm not thinking of the guy with the mask. I'm thinking of the dude with the headless horseman dude.
That's Birdia. That's the guy's name.
Well, he shows up going who the fuck has been blowing up
my castle?
Yeah. And then Kazuma just walks up and just kind of they're kind of making fun of him, and they're not really taking him that seriously. So that's kind of funny. Like this guy is like seriously, he seriously outclasses everyone in like every adventurer in town, and they're just. And Kazuma just isn't taking him seriously, and neither is anyone else in his party. Let's move on to
the blue thing.
Let's move on to Aqua.
Yeah. So, I think I'll go last on this one. You guys go, because I have something that's probably going to contradict what you guys will say. So, go ahead.
Oh,
All right, so Aqua.
Yeah,
Now, it's said that Aqua is useless a lot of times. I don't think she is. She does actually help out quite a bit.
Oh wait, me and you are in agreement. Hold on.
Yeah. Well, Aqua is useless is the opinion of Kazuma. Especially in the beginning of the series. She's not. When in reality, she just kind of. She displays incompetence often, but so do all the other characters, including Kazuma. And on top of that, she does things like lift the death curse off of darkness. She does things like go do side jobs to like make extra money when their money just isn't coming in and they're in debt and all that. She can do things like she does things like heal and purify. She brings Kazuma back to life several times. So really
she is like the best support character in any video game that you would ever want. Like, she is doing the job of every healer that you would want in your party, but she has no damage. So it's like she can't kill anything, but she can make sure that the party will never die. And it's I think the issue was she was being called useless because she has no damage. She has no like mage skill to be able to do anything. But she is a priestess. Like, it'd be nice if she learned like maybe one spell to be able to do something. But
she does have the god blow, but when she's in the lower level,
yeah, that only works on undead.
Yeah.
The thing with Aqua is that she's she's a cunt, but she's a cunt in the sense that she thinks that she just because she's a goddess, she has to assume that she has to be worshipped.
Yeah, she is very, very full of herself. She's extremely prideful.
She's narcissistic. It's
Very, very narcissistic. Um, and quite selfish. Whenever she runs into a point in time uh, where like Kazuma suddenly has a ton of money, she'll be like, "Oh, Kazuma, we should share the loot for this quest."
oh
Even if she was the one who suggested that they should all keep their own loot.
Yeah.
Um,
can we add the fact that she's a freaking alcoholic? Like I'm reading in chat right now.
well, she's an alcoholic, but like really, most of the characters uh drink like fish in this show. Um,
Yeah, even Megumi, she's like 14, she's 14. But
uh,
in that world, she's old enough.
I think she did she ever actually manage to get a hold of alcohol
Yes.
and drink it?
Yeah, we didn't get to see her drink it, but whenever
Yun showed up.
yeah, whenever her rival showed up, um she was like, "Let's have a
Uh,
drinking contest." And she's like, "Finally!" and grabs the drinks. And then
Yeah,
like that
well,
was it.
but Kazuma stops her from drinking it when that happens.
No, the aqua gets thrown over the table.
Yeah, that is what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew she got stopped from drinking it there.
Yeah, but we can kind of assume that at some point she probably has drank, but it's just she's kind of slipping it. But
now that I, now that I think about it, I want to say I want to say a couple of things about Aqua, and it's the fact that she is not only overpowered when it comes to her magic, but the problem is that what she really lacks is intelligence for the most part. She
Yeah.
can all she can only do how should I say this? She can only do what she does if she. Oh my god, I'm derping hard tonight.
she can basically only do her goddess skills. Like she only knows like how to do like her
Party
main
tricks.
spells, and then yeah, and then her party tricks. Like that's all she's good for is like, oh, I can resurrect someone from the dead, and it's like because I was a goddess. I can kill all the undead because I was a goddess. I can do these.
Purify the water.
Yeah,
I can purify anything.
Yeah,
because I am a goddess. I can
but she
forgive
can also
sins
just
because
sit
I
in
am
the
a
water
goddess.
and slowly purify it. But whenever she's getting attacked, she's like, "Oh fuck!" and then she starts actually using purify. But like, it's I think the joke that is kind of there that we're kind of like just skirting around is wizards are supposed to always be smart, and the two dumbest people in the party are both the mages.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Megami because I don't think Megami is stupid per se. I think she's crazy, but I don't think she's stupid.
Megumi is kind of autistic in a way. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
She
Like
is.
like Megami is also quite prideful and full of herself and thinks a lot higher of herself than really what she deserves. Like a lot higher. Like she thinks she's like this incredible master mage because she can cast explosion magic, but she can only like cast it like once a day, and then she can't even stand up, and then on top of that uh she doesn't know any other spells whatsoever.
Yeah, that's because Megumi is pretty much obsessed with explosions. Like she thinks that she believes that explosions are the only magic trait that matters. and she has worked so hard to the point that her explosions actually get more intense with every episode and the movie as well.
Yeah.
Well, so there's a couple parts to that. She said that like explosion is the strongest spell in this universe, right? Like there's no
Yeah,
spell stronger. So she's only going to use the strongest spell. Like she only cares about using the strongest spell ever, and she saved up all of her points to be able to get that spell. And then she even stated every single one of her points goes into powering up the spell so it's even stronger, or cutting down her cast time. Those are the
Yeah.
only two things that she cares about. It's like she could be spending it, I don't know, on maybe mana, on
the
stamina, and
defense.
yeah, like something else. And she's like, no, no, I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
yeah.
make it stronger and make it so I can just like
y-
do it as fast as possible. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. You know, she could. It would be useful if she spent the points so she'd be able to like maybe at least use it more than once. Like, but she never does.
Instead of dropping one bomb, let's drop two. Didn't even consider that, Megami, did you?
Yeah. But when I say she's not like necessarily stupid per se, is that a lot of the time uh she's actually quite thoughtful and quite good at dealing with other people. She's usually not the one to cause a massive kerfuffle out of pure incompetence. Usually either Kazuma or Aqua will do that. Um and usually ideas she comes up with at least make sense to a certain extent.
Regarding Megumi, actually, I used to say that her middle school syndrome pretty much has to do a bit to do with her personality. But considering what she did to Yun Yun, and that one flashback where she's with her little sister. Well, Megumi cares about her family. The thing is, she also let's just say that she pretty much eats she pretty much is willing to draw motherfuckers on a bus from time to
Yeah,
time.
and you can see like Kazuma really by the end of the series they like Kazuma knows how to utilize all of the party members. Like the fact that Megamine can usually only cast explosion magic once. Kazuma sort of plans around that, um, so that basically
He uses
an
it to his
enemy,
advantage.
an enemy or an enemy or a or the or a group of enemies are lured into a place where explosion can be cast on them.
Yeah, no.
And it'll be to the advantage, and it'll like he knows when to plan to use it at the right time.
Mm. You know what? Without saying, let's move on to the meat tank. The Honestly, what
Literally the tank of the party.
The
She's
opposite of Maple, if anyone knows that reference.
yes, La Latina Dustiness Ford, also
or
known as Darkness.
darkness is a Crusader class, and she has high attack power and extremely high defense. But her accuracy is horrible, and she almost never hits anything when she swings at it. And so for the most part, she's just used to soak up damage. But she's got a little interesting quirk about her personality. She is
a masochist.
She likes being used.
She loves pain.
She gets very obvious sexual pleasure out of pain and being dominated. She likes it way too much, to the point where she's constantly acting out in inappropriate situations. And that's the big quirk with her character.
Yeah, she's the strongest one in the party. And she should be not in this party, is what I will say. But because of her quirk, no one wants to party up with her. Is what happens. And she's just so good at tanking damage that you can't not have her there. But at the same time, you have to deal with this BDSM queen just ready to get hit by everything.
BDS queen. I won't go as far as call the BDSM queen, more like the BDSM goddess, because the thing with La Latina, or Darkness, you know what? Just calling her La Latina embarrasses her. And, like, it's not the good type of humiliation. Like, she is a glutton for punishment. I honestly love her. I love her. She's also quite resistant when it comes to the attacks. But the problem is, well, like you guys said, her hand, how should I say this?
Her hand-eye coordination is
her hand-eye coordination is zero, nil, nada. She's really fucking shit at aim, except when it's for luck.
So the party then consists of, because these are the main four, Darkness, who can't hit shit, Megumi, who has one attack per day and can blow up anything but one attack, Aqua, who can't hit shit, and
is stupid and constantly fucks up, and due to her incompetence, will ruin the best laid plans.
Yep, and then there's Kazuma, and then that means that he now has to do all of the damage. So
Kazuma has to have the patience of a saint in order to deal with these people.
He doesn't either, and that's what makes the show. That's what makes the show funny. He is constantly on the verge of like breaking down, like mentally, because of all the shit he has to deal with. Like, Kazuma is always arguing with people. He is always angry at something. He is always stressed out about something. And almost everything these characters do drives him up the fucking wall. And that's what makes the show so funny. That's what drives every scene. Just like the characters, like the way Kazuma interacts with these completely insane people. These people that these people that you would these people you wouldn't even give the time of day, and these are the people that this guy has to deal with. It's it's quite entertaining, and then he not only does he have to deal with these people, he has to rely on them in life or death scenarios.
Individually speaking, they're all really fucking shit, but together,
And I think
that's when they work.
I think what really saves the party is Kazuma's very high intelligence trait
And luck.
and
You
luck,
know,
because really they keep winning over and over again because he's good at MMOs, he's intelligent and lucky, and he knows how to play to each of the characters' strengths.
oh, no. Here's the thing, luck. Because I'm reading the chat right now.
Yeah, it's all Cosmo's luck. Yeah, he actually, they said in the beginning that he has average stats across the board outside of luck. Luck was his
No,
only
they
extra
said he
skill.
had high intelligence.
Oh yeah, because they said that, yeah, because he should have been a merchant, because
Yeah.
high intelligence and high luck is like perfect for a merchant.
It's
Yeah.
it's one of those situations where being a Chad in an isekai world actually works in your favor. And
Yeah.
Kazuma isn't as much intelligent as he is a fucking smartass. That is the best. That's the best way I can describe the character. The dude is a smartass.
We're actually starting to run out the clock here, so let's move on to the plot. We started on time, but I think we might finish late.
All right.
Yeah. So let's move on to the plot. To be honest, like, the plot and the characters are really play off each other very well. Because I think the show's strength is these characters and putting these characters in situations where they really shouldn't do well and often don't. And then on top of that, these situations are often completely ridiculous. So it's like, it always pulls something out of left field, or something you wouldn't like necessarily expect. So like they sign up to the Adventurers Guild, and all they do is manual labor for like the whole first episode, and then they go on their first kill quest, and it's like, oh, you need to kill giant frogs. Sounds easy enough, and then Aqua gets eaten by one of the frogs.
She doesn't get eaten more than once. She gets
and I
eaten
think
at least.
I think one of the best examples of this kind of stuff is they go to this city off across the desert for a vacation, and when they go do that vacation, this city is like beautiful and has hot springs everywhere, and it looks like a paradise. It looks amazing. And then they run into the first person, and this guy is from Aqua's. These people are like from Aqua's religious sect, the Access Cult, and
wait. The people from I gotta say, the people from Axel are actually from Eris's cult.
Oh, the Eris's cult.
Yeah, the Eris set.
Yeah.
But then no, I'm talking about the hot spring town.
Oh, okay.
And then and then like everyone they run into, it's just join the Axis cult, join the Axis cult. Every shopkeep, everything, and very soon they are miserable. Like Megumi heads off with Aqua to the church, and by the time Kazuma and Darkness head over there, Megumi's like cowering in a corner, like having a mental breakdown.
I'll be honest with you.
And then Aqua almost gets lynched by her own worshippers, because she claims that she's Aqua, but they
don't believe her.
they don't believe her. Just like Darkness and Megumi never believe her either.
Yeah,
and
like
then basically the entire plot is Kazuma and his party managing to achieve amazing feats, and then somehow something going wrong and putting them in insane debt.
The superhero syndrome of like basically like what happened with the Incredibles, like that movie and stuff like that, where
the
this
superheroes
cost,
where it's illegal for them to be
yeah,
superheroes.
because they keep destroying the town while saving the town. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really hope they did this on purpose. Whenever, like, obviously I was gonna make a plot joke about like breast size. Did you notice that like the more plot a character has, the bigger their tits?
What
Oh,
about
yeah.
Megumi?
Megumi doesn't really have a plot. Her entire
Megumi
plot
has-
is
Neither does
well, no,
Chris, though.
she has this. I want to, I want to do my spell every day, and I want to use it on people. There's very little character development there. There is, but she gets stronger and stronger. But like that's the entire plot. Like that's her entire arc. Is just I'm going to keep using this explosion magic all the time. There's not as much backstory, but there is. And then you go to Aqua. Aqua would be the mid-size. Aqua has she's a goddess. She does all of the goddess things. She wants to go defeat the Demon King so that she can get back. But like that's her goal, and then her plot is basically her fucking up the entire time. Darkness had this very crazy plot where it's like she's a crusader, she's also a very rich person, she's part of like this type of church, and she has this much more expansive kind of like
I am
character
a
development
crusader
around
for
her.
the goddess Eris.
Yeah, and then and then she was supposed to like be married off because of her family. Like she has so many more arcs going on around her. So like Megumi,
I can poke a little hole in that.
Yeah.
And that is the movie, which I know you haven't seen.
Yeah.
Focuses mostly on Megumi.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the legend of the Crimson Demon.
Yeah. They even like explain the origin of the race of Crimson Demons.
Okay.
Can I mention something real quick, Will?
Sure.
Blacklaw Fenrir is spot on when he says that Pyrrhic victory is the prevailing theme for the party.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Let me actually, now that there's people talking in the chat, let me actually look at it and mute it really quick.
All right.
But
we actually have people tonight, which is a miracle.
Nice.
The show is blessed.
Hey.
Yeah. Hello, people. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the Pyrrhic victory. Yeah, basically, I mean, it gets better later on, um, but not that much better. I know some of the money making stuff kind of falls flat, but basically every victory they have is just it brings them like it leaves them worse off
Yeah.
than they were before. I think the plot really the perfect are you one of them waifu bots though? I think the plot really is just a facilitator for getting the characters into situations where they're going to be funny. And honestly, but at the same time, I do think it's a good plot. It more or less makes sense throughout it. And the characters' arcs do actually make you care about them. Go ahead.
I'd say the biggest issue with the plot is the beginning of it. It felt like it was supposed to be a parody, which is, like this is very much a parody of an isekai. But as the show progressed, it kind of strays away from the parody and becomes more of like its own story, its own world, and then you get caught into the parody, and the jokes are still there, but then you get more invested. So
Yeah.
there's almost like this double-edged sword of, do you want it to continually be a parody and keep making fun of all of these other shows, or do you want it to just not be that and make your own show? In which case, now you're kind of walking a tight line. And I honestly, I love parody shows, but at the same time, I would have wanted them to pick, like, lean in the one or the other a little bit more.
Yeah. It is kind of hard to take a character seriously when you just when like a few minutes beforehand you you just saw him acting like a total pervert on purpose in order to gross one of the female characters out.
Yeah. So walking that line is a little odd. That would be the only big issue that I have with the plot, but I think that pretty much wraps it up for that. I think we can go into our reviews.
Yeah, yeah.
Ratings? Yeah.
There's not much about. Yeah, just go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, yeah. Why don't you give your review, Josh?
So, I thought this anime was a little overhyped, is where I'll put it. So I'm gonna take the hype out of it, because whenever I was going in, I was seeing all the memes. I've heard about the show for a long time. I've had a bunch of friends recommend it to me, and it's been sitting on my list to watch. I just never got around to it. So for me, I was expecting more, but it still performed well. The first season for me was a little off. They kept doing a lot of the same jokes. Whenever you do the same joke 3 or 4 times in a row without splitting it up, without putting it in a different episode, the jokes become very stale very quickly, and that was happening a lot more in the first season than the second season. The second season, they seem to have found their identity and went with it, and then were able to kind of like balance the jokes out a little bit more. And then with the animation quality being as good as it is, with the characters actually being really well done, not to say that there wasn't flaws within that, but for what it is, and the choices they made early in. The characters are extremely well done. So I have to give it 8.5.
All right, Striker.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Well, I want to say that my opinion for the last.
Oh, but I'm always last.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
always last. You go.
Okay. Okay. You know what? Screw it. All right. I'll first come last, and so on. I watched this show back in 2019, and I actually had, as a matter of fact, the same thoughts as Josh. A couple of years when this show was brand new, and then the memes started snowballing, and then I decided finally in 2019, I wanted to give this show, a try and get a good look at this. Josh, someone's asking, where's Drake?
Yeah. That's my collection of dragons next to me. So.
Yeah,
I
it is for
honestly
Drake
do.
and Josh.
I do collect dragon figurines, so there's your Drakes. You happy?
Okay,
Go ahead. Keep going.
honestly, this show was a lot better than I thought. There wasn't an episode when I wasn't giggling like a fucking retard or like I was on drugs. The show's comedy is something else. I can honestly say this show ended up being one of my top 10 anime. I know I'm sounding biased, but it's the truth. My experience with KonoSuba was I came in blind, and then I ended up watching one of the best damn anime shows I've ever seen in my life. It really there's many parodies, but there will never be anything. There will not be another isekai parody quite like KonoSuba, even when it ends. Honestly, it's I always wanted to do this one because I was so I know I came out very obnoxious when it came to the show regarding the but yeah, everything yeah, Blackboard knows, he knows but yeah, I know it's real nice because this show is in fact one of my personal favorite shows. I wanted to share the love. I wanted to know that this is one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life, and frankly, KonoSuba, it's not perfect. Yes, the plot it's lacking a bit. There's also the jokes. Yes, like Josh said, the jokes are actually they are a bit repetitive. Sometimes repetition regarding. I know how to pronounce KonoSuba. It's my Puerto Rican accent that's actually
Okay.
giving
Don't read
me
the chat.
that.
Just get through it.
Okay. Honestly, 9.5. This is one of the best shows I've ever watched in my life, and the fact it holds up very well, even after 4 years, is incredible. This is one of those rare shows where even the dub is actually as good as the English version, as the Japanese dub. I mean, I watched the Japanese dub, but I also watched a couple of the episodes in the English dub, and this show is truly blessed. It really is blessed. To Natsume Akatsuki, the author of this series, God bless you for actually making this series, and I really hope season 3 comes out after this shit is all over with.
Yep. Right.
Yeah, it's
All right.
Go ahead, Will.
So, KonoSuba, like, I've seen episodes of KonoSuba a while ago, like a couple years ago. But I haven't gotten into it. And I'm not really into the I'm not really into the seasonal anime hype train. So it's just kind of like a show that's like, oh, that's the funny isekai show. so I never really had that much interest. And then when I actually sat down and watched the whole thing, I found the characters to be great. I found, I even did enjoy the plot and feel invested in it. When I'm hearing about a season 3, if that comes to fruition, I'm probably gonna watch it.
It actually got confirmed that there's a season 3. It was
Yeah.
supposed to come out this year, but with the current situation, it
Yeah.
has been. It's supposed
Well,
to have been moved to summer next year.
All right. So season 3. So yeah, I think really like a parody of isekai is something that was definitely relevant at the time when this came out in 2016. You know, isekai, the flood of isekai was in full swing by that point, and really, I think it's just as relevant now because it's been like 4 years and like we're still getting absolutely flooded with isekai like every season. At least last I checked. I haven't checked in a few months.
Yeah, there we are.
So it's so really if all this time has passed and isekai is even more overdone and more flooded now, well, that just makes a parody of it even more relevant. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Good show. I'd recommend it. I give it an 8.
All right. So from
All right.
what Josh and I talked last night, we talked about the IMDb and my anime life score.
All right, so here we go. So we gave it a 8.6, 8.7 closer, but we'll go 8.6. The IMBD is a 7.8. The season 1 on Mal is 8.16, and the season 2 is 8.32. So,
All right.
So we're kind of around that area. Yeah, I think that those kind of scores kind of speak for themselves. On IMBD, it always gets anime a little bit lower, so just remember that.
Jesus,
All right.
just before IMDb is so pretentious, it's not even funny.
Yeah, but
All right. So yeah, that was the podcast for November. I hope everyone enjoys their next month. I hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas or whatever holiday you choose to celebrate. And yeah, everyone have a
Stay
good night.
safe.
See you next month.
all right.
Stay safe and don't get sick.